Good morning, Story Trading VIP. We're back for a full week, April 24th, Monday, April 24th. It's earnings season, and that's going to be the story for the week. QQQ SPY, you're looking at it pretty stable right now, about flat. Okay, so the story is going to be written by the big cap earnings coming up this week. We do start off with First Republic this afternoon, so that'll be interesting to watch if you're closely into those banking stocks. And we brought this up last week. The regional banks did pretty well on their reports last week, and then First Republic, we thought maybe they could go up in sympathy. It did, but today, this afternoon, that's really going to tell the story. So I'm not willing to take a risk here before earnings. Lately, I don't play earnings. I just react to them. So we'll see what happens there. I got lots of individual stocks to cover, so we'll jump right into it. On a follow-through from last week, there are a couple short squeeze stocks we were looking at. Wow, look at the Alpha Tau is moving. Okay, but there were a couple short squeeze candidates. A few of them didn't work out yet, didn't break out, but a couple did. One of them is HIMS. Okay, so HIMS has several days to cover. It's 13% of the float is short, and it's moving towards a 52-week high, and the RSI is relatively low. So I've been talking about this pretty much all of last week since this candle on this day here. All right, since then, I've been on top of it. This looks like it's going to be challenging the 52-week high, 1204, and my prediction is it'll actually break that because the RSI is relatively low. So 1204 is your first target, and then maybe make a move to 13 plus after that. Let's just check out when earnings are to make sure nothing will come in the way of that between now and then. No, earnings are May 8th, so I think there's plenty of time to be challenging 1204 on this potentially developing short squeeze is what it looks like after great fundamental earnings. We covered it here in this gap, pulled back to the 50-day moving average, a technical support line, and now it's making a move for a cup breakout. So HIMS is looking good for continuation. Another one that we had our eye on, CYH, we noted that activity on Friday morning, and then we got in touch with Chris, who told us, Chris Tuttle, who said that he believes this is in sympathy with earnings from HCA because of lower personnel costs. So HCA, you can see here, had a good report, and this bodes well for CYH. Their earnings report is coming up, I believe, this week, May 1st or Monday. It looks like it's Monday. At least that's the estimate. Let's see if we have something different. I thought he had something different here. Yeah, May 1st. Okay, so that's Monday. So this week, you could have event anticipation into that report. But last week, I noted to you the 200-week moving average, and that's my target right here. 695 200-week moving average, huge short position. Yes, it's 8.74%, but I think that's about 13 days to cover based on the average daily volume. So huge 13 days to cover on positive news and the 200-week moving average above it. So CYH and play on top of the list as well. AUGX, we covered this last week. This thing just exploded on the AI. They're an AI health play right now. Really fascinating news, and also that big investment by HCA as well. HCA is everywhere. So HCA invested in Augmetics, and they're doing some kind of joint collaboration on AI product. You got to read about it. It's pretty fascinating. But in any case, I did end up buying this, and I own it. And I think this can, I don't know how long it's going to take, but that's an inside candle Friday. The high 343 is what you have to break. So that's target 1, 343, and target 2, 4. I'm not willing to go above that. You see the strong level here at $4 used to be support, then it became resistance. So those are the two targets to the upside, and downside about 275 would be your support level. You don't want to break below 275. I doubt it will, but that's your support level. Okay. GANX fighting back. This one, Jason Assad brought to us. They ended up on Fox Business, I believe it was, a segment on Fox Business last week. Some positive news in Parkinson's disease detection, which could increase the TAM for their drug they're developing for Parkinson's disease. It's still relatively early, but there's a lot of chatter about this, a lot of speculation about maybe an acquisition or license deal or something. Market cap only $64 million. I think it's still phase 1A though. Phase 1. I don't know about 1A. I think they're still phase 1. So it is early on this, but that price action was significant. This happened before they went on Fox, by the way. This move up here. So I don't know. I think someone might know something. This morning it was selling off. I took an opportunity to add some here in the 470s, already up on that position. And I think, did I give you a target last week? Let's look at the technicals together, see if there is a target. 52-week high is 619. Oh, that was a 52-week high hit. interesting. On Friday, 619. All right, so that'll be your upside resistance, 619 on that. And about 450 is your support level right there. 50-day moving average. By the way, hit 450 to the T right there in pre-market. Amazing how that works, isn't it? Okay, and then you have your secondary support. Your first support is actually closer to 480. Okay. All right, so that's GANX looking good. This morning, there was some action in AI stocks here. Wow, you know what? I'm going to skip the AI. I'll come right back to it because I got to cover Alpha Tau. DRTS, it's been on my watch list for a long time, and I don't know who put it there, and I never really looked at it until like this morning. I started looking at what they do. Biotech's very hot right now. So Alpha Tau Medical, initiated by H.C. Wainwright with a $9 price target. It's down here at $3, up 9% in the morning. I'm like, all right, let me look at what they do, and it's pretty fascinating. It looks like some sort of radiation treatment, directed radiation treatment for pancreatic cancer is the one. They do like 4 different cancers, but pancreatic is the one I think that's most advanced. Here's the news here. April 3rd, Alpha Tau and JGH announced Alpha DART treatment, a first patient in its advanced pancreatic cancer clinical trial. And what I know is cancer is hot right now. That's what I mean. I'm biotech. Biotech is very hot right now. And you got a price target from H.C. Wainwright that's triple where it's at. By the way, they have 100 million cash, a 2-year runway, market cap of 197 million. So DRTS potentially could have legs here. Your 50-day moving average is we're right there. It's battling it right now. 310, 311. If this breaks like that level today and closes above it, it could run, it could swing for a while. What's up? These candles here, I would say 360 would be your next target. All right, so like 310-ish, right where it is now, 315, let's call it. Yeah, if it breaks 315, then 360 would be your target on DRTS. If you know about this company, if you've researched their technology and you think it's viable or whatnot, love to hear from you in our story trading app over at storytrading.com/app. You can add a nugget over there. And as a reminder, let's remind people how to get there. You can just download our free app at storytrading.com/app. All right, now go back to the AI stocks. AI, the poster child, because of the ticker symbol, has gotten slaughtered from 34 to 18 here at the 200 DMA. 2 pieces of bad news this morning. All right, they got a downgrade from Wolf Research to underperform with a $14 price target. Okay, in addition to that, Dan Ives, who I don't think Dan Ives is from Wolf, is he? I think this is a separate analyst. I could be wrong, but there's also an article here from Dan Ives, or a note here from Dan Ives that Benzinga covered, where Dan is saying he's negative on AI, and he gives his reasons why. And his from Wedbush, I guess. Yeah, Dan Ives Wedbush. But it's positive on another one, SOUN. He just compares like the fundamentals between AI and SOUN. And first time I heard of SOUN, so I put it on my AI watch list. And this morning you can see the results. You got like 2 negative notes on AI. So I think there may be some direct money flowing out. You have a 1 million volume at $18. Some of that looks like it's going into SOUN, 900K volume at $2. Some of it's making its way there. So maybe we're seeing this rotation from one AI stock to another because of those catalysts this morning. So if you look at SOUN, this is a critical level right here at 260. A lot of noise in here. I would actually say 275 is really what you want to see. If this thing breaks 275, you could make a run towards 3 to 325 in the coming days. Okay, so 275 is your key level over there to the upside. But if you're quick this morning on that news, that was a potentially even a better way to play it. I like to do that. I like to be on top of the news and act fast before other people do on a catalyst, but I wasn't able to do that this morning. Mostly because I don't have much money to trade right now. I'm in the middle of transferring my money to a hedge fund that opens next Monday. So that's going to be next Monday. Maybe we'll take more advantage of opportunities like that. All right. So that's SOUN and DRTS. But yeah, if you're familiar with DRTS, let us know. I'm going to throw a couple other names out there, kind of a ask for research if you're interested in collaborating and participating in our community. SENS. So someone's been whispering in my ear for a couple weeks. Check out SENS. It's inflecting. Things are getting better for them. So it's on my watch list. And I've known this from years ago. It's been on my watch list. I never did deep research on it. It's like a continuous glucose monitoring product, something like that. and I don't know deeply, but they had a update this morning and on SENS. And in this update, they're telling me 250 million covered lives. Well, that sounds like all of America. I don't know what's going on here. So maybe there's something going on. So CGM, right? So if you know us on that, definitely would like to hear from you. It is at a key level, the 20 DMA, as are a lot of risk assets. Been trying to break out of the 20 DMA. Important level here. So that's all. I'm just putting that out there for anyone. I'm not giving any sort of prediction for today based on that price catalyst or that technical. But if you're familiar with it, let us know. All right. LNTH, a little bit of news. Remember, we covered this like on earnings on this gap, and we calculated like a fair value of like 85 or something, and boom, like brand new highs. Anyway, small catalyst this morning relative to the market cap, but for one of their drugs, they got fast track designation for prostate cancer drug. I mean, it's a $6 billion company, so I'm not sure that that's going to move the needle much here this morning, but that's been such a solid company since we flagged it. LNTH. All right, a little bit of news on Microsoft. Got an upgrade today, a big one from, where is it? Bernstein. Bernstein raises their price target from 280 to 322. And by the way, speaking of Microsoft, earnings are tomorrow after the close, I think, as is Google and Visa. All right, tomorrow we got FRC tonight, First Republic, and then tomorrow we have in the morning Verizon, McDonald's, Spotify. In the afternoon we have Microsoft, Google, Visa, Chipotle. So that's going to be a big one, big earnings. I'm really interested in hearing about how their chat GPT is going and how Bing market share is going. And that's going to be exciting earnings for Microsoft. Speaking of Microsoft, PERI, that's been riding on the backs of Microsoft in this speculation that Bing is going to take market share. You have PERI getting a downgrade this morning from buy to hold from Stifel Nicholas. So perhaps that'll put a halt to its upward movement for a while. You got 50 DMA support down here at 36.54, and you got the 20 DMA up there at 40, right in between. Maybe we have to wait for Microsoft before that decides what direction it's going to go in. We're watching YEXT, another AI play that's been actually on fire recently, above the 20 DMA, might make a move to its 52-week high over here towards 10. That'll be target 1, and then target 2, 200 DMA at $12. Clearfield was able to close above its key 200-week moving average last week. Hopefully, it's going to hold the line right there ahead of earnings, which is coming next month. Celsius had a nice move. Just want to note this one here above the 50 DMA. They have earnings when? They have earnings on May 8th, so a little bit of time for that. But I think it's a good sign. I'm thinking we might see a speculative move towards that 200 DMA before the earnings come. Otherwise, why break above the 50 DMA if you didn't have that intention? So that's what I'm leaning towards, that this stock might be making a move towards that 200 DMA as it approaches the earnings report. So watch that. XXII, I am meeting with management hopefully today. I told them I want to do a follow-up interview, but we both agreed that we're going to wait until the big next catalyst, which we're all hoping is going to be 7-Eleven being signed or announced, and also together with that distributor, McLean. So if and when that happens, that's when I'm going to invite them. Hopefully we'll get them same day for an interview. Meantime, I'm going to talk to management a little bit today, get clarification on a couple things, and I'll pass that along to the community. And then we got a DRIO interview this Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. We're speaking to the president of DRIO, Rick Anderson, to get his feedback and ask him lots of tough questions for him, and lots of new developments since we spoke to him last. So lots of press releases, which the market really hasn't reacted to. So we're going to find out more about those press releases and what it might mean for the company. That's Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. for our VIP community through our app, StoryTrading.com/app. Keeping an eye on these two Chris Tuttle plays from Tuttle Trades. Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. Be there this week. Last week's first episode, he had two ideas: short MBLY into their earnings, I think, are tomorrow, and then the lockup expiration is going to be Thursday, when Microsoft is going to be able to start selling some shares. So that's the short idea on MBLY. I really like that, by the way. And then QIPT, I like this less. Fundamentally, I agree it looks cheap, but in between these two key moving averages, I don't know. Oh, yeah, but I forgot. Remember this? I remember finding this. I'm like, I'm like, I don't know, it's in no man's land. But if you switch to the weekly, it actually could bounce right here. And not only is it the 20-week moving average, but also the top of these candles right here. So it's almost like a double support here. So QIPT actually not as bad as I thought, but you do have 50 and a downward movement on the RSI. So it's not a guarantee. It could definitely make a move down to like 550 before it takes off. But fundamentally, it is, I agree, it's a good price. It's just timing wise, not as good of a play like MBLY, where you can time it based on catalysts, in my opinion. Could be wrong. All right. So that's about it. Just want to let you know we're monitoring a new company, which I don't think is investable yet, but very interesting technology. It's Stakeholder Foods. They're making like meats with a bio printer using like meat cells, and then they can actually make a whole steak, make a whole fish fillet. It's 4 or 5 years away from really economic viability to make it cheap enough for consumers to actually buy it, because their machines are very big and expensive right now. So that's going to take a long time. And they're going to have to raise hundreds of millions of dollars over the next 4 or 5 years to make it there. But very interesting. They're in the news because President or Prime Minister of Israel did a whole PR thing with them, and he tasted their steak. And then today, this morning, there was another sort of media event over in Israel about some fish fillet that they made, and I don't know, some other celebrity there was there to eat it today. And there's things going on. They're trying to make some noise. Financially, though, probably uninvestable. With technicals and catalysts, there might be some trades here and there. So we'll keep an eye on it. I might even reach out to management to learn more about this and really find out, potentially, are there other avenues to monetize? That's what I want to know. Is it simply about waiting until it's mass produced, or are they going to be able to partner, license, or find other ways to sell their technology in the meantime? And perhaps maybe it's not 5 years to cash flow break even. Maybe it's less. So I don't know, but it's so interesting, that technology, that I'm willing to take some time to talk to management and learn more about that. So I put in that request to get an interview with management, at least a one-on-one for now, to see how that's out. All right. So, and thank you, Yosef, for bringing that idea to our community. If you got good ideas like that, let us know, and we'll take the ball from there if it sounds interesting. All right. Let's just quickly look at the news flow since we started the show and see if there's anything else that came up. Sound. We're just talking about sound. And I mean, okay. SoundHood launches chat AI for automotive as study finds 50% regular drivers likely to use generative AI capabilities. Okay, that's a nice headline. And then we have Microsoft, which you talked about. All eyes are on AI-driven growth, which is exactly what I was talking about. And I think the sentiment is going to be really impacted by that. And forward-looking comments that Microsoft makes about ChatGPT will move the stock, even though it might not make sense to a fundamental investor. Even multi-trillion-dollar companies will move on sentiment based on commentary of what the future looks like for AI. That's just the reality of how asset prices work. So now, SOUN, let's see if it just reacted to that news or not right now. 260, still around 260. Had a little bit of pop when that news came out. All right, so in any case, if I were trading, which I'm actually not actively trading this morning, the top three, I think that I'd be focused on. Oh, look at GANX, really bounced back, but I would probably say it's going to be HIMS, CYH, SOUN. I'd be interested in looking at and these other three as well, DRTS, AUGX, and GANX, but those three. And then first tranche, right? Top three, HIMS, CYH, SOUN, and then below that, 3, DRTS, AUGX, and GANX. That's what I'm looking at, top 6. Hopefully, you guys can take one of these 6, make it your own, and make some money today. And with that, I'm out of here. I'll see you this afternoon for a quick post-market wrap at 4 p.m. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining.